Champions. Since 1974, I've coached the best in the world in life, business, and sports. And now I'm coaching you. So if you're seeking peak performance while eliminating worry, anxiety, doubt, and fear from your daily life, well, you've come to the right place. Join the tens of thousands of Zoniac performers that enjoy a life of simplicity, balance, and abundance. Your success is the only mission. The Jim Fannin Show starts right now. Welcome to the Jim Fannin Show. I am Jim Fannin. I coach champions, and for the next half hour, I'm coaching you. And today, this is at the top of my list of one of my most favorite subjects. And yes, I am fired up, and I'm going to reveal my secrets. Somebody asked me the other day, who's your competition? I said, do they use their sixth sense? Can they remote view? And they looked at me perplexed, not knowing what that was. And I said, I don't know. And I said, probably not. Then there's no competition. I found that champions have an edge, and it's not just physical. When you get into that peak performance mindset, and this isn't just for superstar athletes. This is selling, presenting, speaking, interacting, reading a book, taking a test in college, a final exam, your LSATs. The zone is in us right now. It mainly comes out without thinking when we're under stress and deep trauma. In 1974-75, this fight or flight syndrome that has some amazing physical and mental, even spiritual properties, I understood really what it was chemically, reverse engineered the whole concept, and figure out how to change your thoughts to bring the fight or flight at the right time and right place in a proactive way. And that's what this show is all about today. Do you use your sixth sense? How many times have you said to yourself, I knew that. I knew that. I knew that was a 6-iron as you're standing there with a 7-iron, missing the green. A little voice, a little whisper. It usually only says it once. 6-iron. My caddy says it's a 7. But what my caddy doesn't know, and what I consciously don't know, there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind barreling from the next hole, and it's going to cross my ball flight. I don't know that. It hasn't arrived. But my intuition knows that I'll need to hit a lower shot. Consciously, caddy, everybody around me goes, what's he doing? The sixth sense. How many times have you violated it? How many times have you taken a test, had the answer, scratched it out, and then when you got the paper back, you go, I knew that. We do that all the time. But what if we can take this intuitive side of us, our sixth sense, which has all kinds of different faculties? What if we can proactively use it to have a simple, balanced, and abundant, result-oriented life? I know everybody's going to raise their hand. Yeah, give me some of that. Intuition. July 21st, I'm looking at my date to be sure, 2013, I'm at Comiskey Park. I'm watching one of my clients, and he's not playing in the game. In fact, the center fielder is another player. The center fielder that was starting for the Chicago White Sox in that game is taken out, and my guy is put into the field. And as soon as he goes out there, a lady says, where's Viciado? Casper Wells, you suck. And he heard it because she was looking over the fence right at him. You suck. And at that moment, he had a flash image that he was going to catch and rob a home run right in front of her face. That image just popped in seconds. The inning's over. He goes back to bat. He comes back into the field, and the ball is a monster drive hit. He runs all the way back to the wall, and you can see the picture. He jumps up, and the lady that he's in front of, that's the lady that heckled him, and he put it right in her face. How did he know that? How did he have that premonition, that clairvoyance, that out-of-body, futuristic, something's going to happen? I've been having that as long as I can remember. You know, my intuition really was because of my grandfather taking me into the woods. You're never lost. You just haven't found your way. And intuition got me out of the woods many, many times where I didn't know where to go. I listened to my gut and went right when logic may have told me to go left or even reverse and go back where I came from. Intuition, the sixth sense, one of the biggest faculties and properties of being in the zone. It was the night before one of the biggest tragedies in America, 9/11, 2001. And the night before, I'm in Miami International Airport, and I'm getting ready to put my luggage on the carousel for my flight to Puerto Rico, and I'm giving a speech in front of 1,000 people, and I've already been paid. I got to go. As soon as I picked up my luggage to put it on the conveyor, I got overwhelmed. Go home. Go home. I'd never had that so strong. Get my bag. Get my bag. They pulled my bag off the escalator. And I rebooked and rerouted me back to Chicago. I called the guy in Puerto Rico. He flipped out. Oh my gosh. I'd never done that. I'm bailing on a paid keynote. Jim, I haven't done that in 51 years. What caused that? I get back home. He's upset. I don't know why I'm there, but I just know I had to go back to Chicago. About 12:30 a.m. on 9/11, literally in the morning of 9/11, my youngest client, Ty Tryon, who's the youngest to ever qualified for the PGA Tour at 16, he calls me up and says, hey, before I go to sleep, can we do some symbolic imagery? I said, let's do it. I'd never done this before. I've obviously never done it since. After I got him relaxed, after he cleared his mind and opened up some windows to everything about him, I said, I want you to be in New York. Have you ever seen the Twin Towers? I have. I want you to go in front of tower number 1, go inside, get on the elevator. Now he's visualizing this. He gets to the very top. He goes up onto the roof. He has a pole for balance. It has the word S.C.O.R.E, S-C-O-R-E, for balance. There is a rope connecting to Tower 2, and he's going to tightrope across from Tower 1 in his mind to Tower 2. And at the end of that tightrope is a giant neon sign beckoning him that says PGA Tour. And he is disciplined, focused, jaw unhinged, in the zone, in his mind, going to the vision that he's dreamed about since he first picked up a golf club. When he gets to the other side, he gets on an elevator, he goes downstairs, he goes out of the building, he sees both Twin Towers, and then I tell him, make them disappear. Gone. They disappeared in my mind, they disappeared in his mind, and I went to bed. Hours later, Ty Tryon and I both woke up independent of each other, and we were in shock. How did that happen? How did I know not to get on that flight? If I'd have gone to Puerto Rico, I wouldn't have been back for maybe 4 or 5 days. My event was going to be canceled because of this. Intuition, out-of-body experience, intuition. You know, we all have it, but there's many, many windows. One of my gifts, and I've had this gift for a long time, is remote viewing, which is a sixth sense. I get my breathing down to 6 to 8 breaths. I clear my mind, and we'll practice that in a little bit. A window opens up, and I can see in real time geographically wherever I pointed the target. I can go to London and see what's on someone's desk. Now, this has happened with all my clients in some form or fashion. I'm coaching a baseball player. He has batting practice. I'm 1,000 miles away. I don't see the batting practice, but I do watch the game and see he's out of sorts. He's 0 for 4, not a very good performance, and definitely not a zone performance. After the game, we talked, and I said, in batting practice, who's the guy with long, kind of dark, thick hair, Hispanic, scruffy beard? Who's that guy on the right of the batting cage? Because you kept looking at him after every pitch. You look back at him. I want you to look to the mound and get your energy flowing. But you kept looking back. Who is that guy? What's that guy doing? Who is he? Oh, that was my high school coach. I hadn't seen him for years. And I invited him to BP, and I just wanted to take a look at my swing. I said, well, your energy was going back. You were more concerned about him than you were being in the zone against this pitcher. And that's why you went 0 for 4. And then he stopped me and said, how'd you know that? And I said, I saw it in my mind. It popped into my head. One of my hobbies is getting into an Uber and asking the driver where he's from. And then knowing the accent quickly, I go, you were raised 2.5 hours southeast of Lagos, and your mother is a great cook, and she has a special dish that you thought about today. And he like freaks out. My wife's in the car. She's like, oh my gosh, he's coaching Uber drivers again. ABC, everybody, always be coaching. But what am I coaching? I'm coaching you to think 30 to 40% less thoughts so that you can open up 6 sense windows that you can look into the future, you can look into the past, and you can get a sense of knowing real-time information that your conscious mind doesn't possess. You've come to the Jim Fannin Show to get an edge over the competition. You've come here to get peace, tranquility, to have an abundant, simple, balanced life. And right now, let's go to the toolbox and learn how to tap into the sixth sense. Welcome to the ZoneCoach Toolbox. We've got more tools than most hardware stores, but this is a tool that takes 60 seconds, no more, and it's about clearing every thought from your mind. Now, this tool is also called the reboot. We've talked about on show number 1, the reboot. That's just clearing your mind. This is a little bit different. It's called clear the launch. And every athlete, every business person that I coach clears the launch before a presentation, before a meeting, before a speech, or before a basketball game or a ping pong tournament. Clear the launch. Here's how it works. Get very comfortable. Make sure your head is above your sternum. Unhinge your jaw, zoniacs. You can't be in the zone without your jaw unhinged. That's why Jordan stuck his tongue out when he went to the hole. That's why Curry flips his mouthpiece when he's locked in shooting threes from raining everywhere. Lower your breathing down to 6 to 8 breaths. And then I want you to feel every thought drain, almost like you pulled a plug in the back of your mind, and just let every thought empty. Mindless. I have no future. I have no past. My goal is to make the present last. I'm in the now. Breathing 6 to 8. No future, no past. All the windows in my life closed. No thoughts about significant other, closed. No thoughts about my upcoming tennis tournament or whatever. Everything's closed. Clear the lunch before we take our energy to another level. Now, everybody, this will work for 75% of you. Now, the other 25%, you just don't believe it. You haven't listened to it for 2 decades. You've heard it. It's told you, go left, go right. Don't get in that car. Don't get on that flight. And you've dismissed it. Most of us have dismissed it. Coincidence, serendipity. What's that all about? New age, sixth sense. Come on, get real. It is real. This has been around since the existence of the human on this planet. We were born with this tool. But you got to clear your mind, because too many thoughts, intuition will go to another zip code. Clear your mind with the Clear Your Launch tool, and intuition will be your best friend. And now let's open the ZoneCoach mailbox, and you send that, obviously, questions, concerns, show suggestions to askjim@jimfannin.com. And for the podcast, it's askjim@jimfannin.com. askjim@jimfannin.com. This is from Albert and Sonia. It's not a question. It's just, thank you for helping my family live in the zone. We use your tools. We talk about every episode. It's been a family affair. And Sonia, Albert, Miller, thank you. I really appreciate the feedback. And now this is one that really tugs at my heart. It's from a mom who says, my son plays highly competitive tennis tournaments, and I'm a wreck watching him. What should I do besides not show up? Well, I get it. I coach a nationally ranked tennis player, and I'm like, I need a drink. What's going on? I'm an expert. I'm calm and cool until you have your own out there doing it. So here's my advice. Give no reaction of negativity. That's an obvious one. No sign of disappointment. Oh my gosh, come on. None of this. Because this, yes, it's encouraging. It gets our kids to fight. And what do? They try too hard. And what's the word? TRI. Say that word. Try. To ruin yourself. Mom, Dad, if we're in the stands and we're giving our kids a thought that they need to try harder, they can do better, they're going to force the action. And that's the very thing that will take them out of the zone and get them to lose. So if you're in the stands, Mom, lower your breathing down to 6 to 8 and make nothing in that match with your son. Elevate your breathing. Is that easy? No, it'll be fun to get some feedback on how you do the next match. Show calm, cool confidence, and that will be reflected, hopefully, in your son's performance. Send me an inquiry. Ask Jim at jimfannin.com. The palm tree. You know, every time I see a palm tree, you should see my office. We've got a forest of palm trees. It's unbelievable. I love the palm tree. But are you the palm tree? Are you the palm tree when it hits the fan and chaos has arrived? Are you the palm tree when you're being yelled at in the line at the grocery store? Are you the palm tree when you get cut off on I-95 in Florida, zipping around, people giving you the obscene gesture? Or do you respond in the same way? Are you the palm tree in life's verbal hurricanes? So here comes that 120-mile-an-hour verbal assault. Relax, unhinge your jaw, and absorb the negativity. Let it pass through you. Don't make a reaction. No little snarky smiles. Just be calm and be cool. Bend, don't break. Now, the palm tree has deep roots of conviction. That's why it doesn't get uprooted like the oak tree that tries to fight the wind. Don't fight the opposition. Don't fight the conflict. Absorb it, and then take that energy and shove it back at them. Be the palm tree in life's hurricane. And the key to that is getting your breathing in 6 to 8 breaths a minute, under 10. So let's do a little check. I'll get my clock out just so that I'm timing you. We've got a timer. You're going to have an inhale, exhale. That's 1 breath. Inhale through your nose. Hold it 1 second. Little box breathing, very simple. Many breathing techniques out there. This one's simple. You can do anywhere. Long inhale. Long exhale. And then repeat and get that flow of energy. Let's start that now. You count your breaths. I'll count a minute. On your mark, get set, go. No place I'd rather be than where I am right now, present, peaceful, calm, still, quiet, relaxed. Focus just on your breath. You can feel your shoulders relax right now. Peaceful, tranquil, calm. Stop. How many breaths? Most of us have 15 to 17 when that hurricane. Over 20 breaths a minute. You hit 25, you'll panic. You go past that, find a paper bag so you don't hyperventilate. The one thing we must control, and the reason we do the palm tree every single week, I don't want anybody, anything, any situation, any circumstance, any condition to change your breathing. That's a constant. You control that. We control that. Control your breathing, you'll control the situation. You'll have clarity, and you'll be a much better decision maker. Don't forget, be a palm tree in life's hurricanes. Welcome to the Zone Cafe, the 24-hour cooking some really, really awesome mental ingredients. Every one of us have a higher or low level of self-discipline. Sometimes we're locked in, and sometimes we're aimless and maybe just laying in a hammock, not disciplined at all. We all have a higher or low level of concentration, optimism, relaxation, or enjoyment. This forms an acronym that makes up your overall mindset. S.C.O.R.E. How's your attitude? How's your mindset? How's your score level? It's the same question. So let's pull up in the road of life, and I want you to order only one ingredient, something you believe you need. And here's what's going to happen. If you have one of these missing ingredients, which most of us can have at any given time, next week it could be something else. This week, concentration. Tomorrow it could be optimism. But the one thing I've realized, this is your overall mindset, and you're in control. Think about what you think about. So pull up. We've got a big slab of self-discipline, a blueprint, strategy, tactics, perseverance, commitment. Is that what you need? Do you need to make that commitment? Do you need a blueprint? Put it in your car and drive away. You're off and running. But maybe you've got a plan. Maybe it's a pretty good plan. Maybe you're ready for the next quarter, Q2. And I've got my projections. I know what I want. But are you really focused on the process? Are you focused on the day-to-day tasks needed to reach these goals and make that vision? If that's what you need, put it in your car and drive away. But maybe you need confidence. Maybe you've had a seed of doubt in this next tournament you're getting ready to play. Oh, you've gone and everybody below me, everybody around me. I'm going up a level. I'm going into the national. I want to play with the top players, but I'm walking in with a pebble in my shoe. Self-esteem, what you think other people think about you. Come on, grab some optimism. We got a bucket of optimism. Who doesn't need a little more optimism? Put it in your car and drive it away. But maybe you've got all three of those balanced and at a high level. Do you need the palm tree? Well, you're going to know if you had 15 breaths. Yes, relaxation's what I need. We got a big, cool drink of relaxation. Once that comes in, your breathing lowers. You feel like nothing can go wrong. But maybe you've got all those elements, but you're missing one thing. Little pep in your step, little smile in your face. Maybe you're not enjoying the challenge. Maybe you're struggling with a wall of scrutiny because you've been winning. You've been doing well, and everybody's watching you. And now you're looking around. It's not as much fun when no one was watching. We all love to dance when nobody's watching. But can you dance in front of a crowd? Maybe that's not fun for you. If you need a little pep in your step, a little smile, grab our enjoyment meal, and that will improve the brain nourishment that you're going to need. What's your missing link? And when you get all 5 of these markers that you possess right now, when all of these markers are balanced at their highest level, that's where the zone resides, and that's where intuition starts speaking a little more loudly. And all you need to do then is realize what I got's enough, act on it, and do it. I'm coming down an elevator. 25th floor, first floor. Guy with me has a Yankees hat. I coach a few Yankees. Now I turned and I said, Yankees fan, who's your favorite player? He told me. I happened to coach the guy. We started talking. I read his intuition. An elevator pitch from 24 to the first floor. My gut says engage. How many of us start to engage and went, I'm on an elevator. I don't want to do that. But my gut said talk to him. Anyway, he's still my client. He's still my client. Met him on the 24th to the first floor ride. Listen to your gut and get your score level balanced, and it's going to be even easier to do. I love this subject because I live it every day. By the time I get up in the morning, time I go to bed at night, I may spend 7, 8 hours on the phone, on a Google Meet or a Zoom, talking to clients. And I'm using my intuition with a clear mind because I never know what's going to be on the phone call that day. We may be on a pathway to do something special and it's logical and we got the steps, and I could get a call and say, everything's derailed. I had a death in the family. Something tragic happened. And I intuitively need to give them the right advice at the right time. Does that come from my experience? I've been doing it 51 years. I got a boatload of experience. But experience and logic can get in your way. Imagination, which intuition will bring to you, will always trump knowledge and experience. Don't get me wrong. I love knowledge. Knowledge is powerful. Don't get me wrong. I love quality experience. But imagination with intuition, give me that any day. I could lose every dime I've got. But if I've got free will to guide my intuition where I want to go, I'll be back in no time. And I've seen my clients do it over and over and over. I had to write this down because I want to make sure I got the stats, but I coached 6 Major League Baseball players in 1998. And collectively, they reported 86 instances where they failed to listen to their intuition. 6 of my clients had 86 instances where they got the signal to throw a fastball and their gut said throw a changeup, and they didn't listen to it. 92% of the time, they failed. And 1/3 of the time, they were taken out of the game. Listen to your gut. Listen to that sixth sense. It's there for you. It belongs to you. It's your sixth sense. Could I help you be a remote viewer? If you believe you can, yeah, I can show you how to do that. Could I help you be clairvoyant? Could I help you be a quarterback in the NFL? Scott Mitchell, all-pro. He has a play going to the left in the huddle. They're throwing a pass to the left side of the field. He looks over to the right and sees Herman Moore alone. Just a look and an intuitive marriage in real time under an assault by a ferocious defense. They signal to each other telepathically, run straight down with a little hitch, and the ball's going to be right there, 40 yards. Who knew that? Herman Moore and Scott Mitchell. Anybody else know that? No coach knew that. No player on his team knew that. Sometimes you got to listen to your gut. Sometimes you got to connect with other people intuitively. But if you talk too much, if you overthink too much, if you overanalyze too much, overassess too much, overevaluate too much, and if you keep going into the past, your intuition is going to be in another zip code. This is one of our weapons to use in the most positive way to help our family, our friends, our businesses, and yes, our own selves. Be in the zone. It is the only place to be. Next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat. I'm the host of the Dr. Pat Show, and I am the creator of the Transformation Network, doing what we do in the world of positive radio, informed, educated, positive media. Independent radio hosts and independent networks have been the face of positive messaging over the past decade. So all of us here have decided we're going to put together an independent network that is going to enable people to bring their positive message of hope, inspiration, and conscious action to the forefront. Help us create a future of amazing, uplifting stories that can be told so we can tell our children and they can tell their children of what hope and conscious action is all about.
I want to thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Boy, does this feel like good times today. It's so great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. I love it. This is a show that's going to invite all of you to open up your heart because it's about dreams coming true. There's a road we get to take as we craft out and we lay a course that's in service of so many others. God, whatever you believe in, have you ever wondered why, but better than why, or how the universe knows how to line things up in a way that gets you ready for the most expansive part of who you're going to become? This is the time to change. And gratitude, leading with love, opens up more expansive possibilities than you can imagine. Crust busting your way to an awesome life.
I want to thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
And welcome, Zoniacs, to the Jim Fannin Show. I'm Jim Fannin, and I'm your zone coach, ready to help you be your genuine, authentic, best self in your life, your business, or your sport. Today, I want to talk about my favorite subject on this planet, the zone. What is it? How do I get in it? Why do I lose it? How do I get it back? How can I use it? What can I use it for? What is this elusive mindset that athletes, and this is not just for superstar athletes, call the zone? But before I jump into that pool of peak performance with the zone, last week we talked about the elephant in the room. Negativity. And last week we set out on a mission to curb worry. Get rid of it. Next, that'll be our battle cry for getting rid of the past, the negative past. If you see it, it'll help you be in the zone and put worry under wraps and under control. It's time to eliminate worry. Well, the best way to do that is to put the zone on like an overcoat. And that's what Michael Jordan told me about the zone. I watched him drop 42 points on the opposition. And he said, Jim, I know the zone. I can put it on like an overcoat. And here's exactly what it is, based on brain science, our own proprietary research since 1974. In less than a second, a zone state could engulf me, blanket me, giving me the feeling nothing can go wrong. When in the zone, simultaneously, this is what happens. The blood vessels, the capillaries in my stomach, they constrict. And that pushes the blood, the majority of our blood, right now listening, it's in your stomach, especially after you've eaten. Blood vessels, capillaries, and it pushes the blood away from the stomach, which may give you the feeling that you have the butterflies, or even worse, you may believe you're nervous when actually it's the zone preparing to occur. The blood then is pushed to the brain so that you have instant clarity. Instant clarity. The rest of the blood is pushed to the large muscles, the shoulders, the back, the glutes, the legs, so that you now have inordinate quickness, speed, strength, agility, balance, power. Another phenomenon happens. Your skin sensitivity is at an all-time alert. It is activated. And this energy from the skin pushes an energy field, thousands and thousands of yards, 360 around you, picking up data in your environment to use to help you in whatever challenge you're confronted with right now in the moment. Your jaw, it immediately unhinges. You can't be in the zone without your jaw unhinged. And that's why a lot of athletes stick their tongue out when they go to the basket, shoot a three, or whatever else that they do. The eyes double, sometimes even triple shutter speed. And what that does, it gives you the illusion that everything is in slow motion. Now, if you've been in a car accident, I'm sorry you were. I hope you're okay. I hope you don't have one ever again. But if you've been in a car accident, you know this zone feeling where everything seemed in slow motion. It seems surreal, almost like you're up above looking down on the event in real time from a movie set perch, usually up to the right side of your head, the zone. And when the accident was over, you can't believe what happened. Even though the car tumbled over and over, people were hurt, but you came out of it unscathed. The zone. Another phenomenon, once that zone comes to you, and it'll happen in 1/100th of a second, intuition. Your conscious mind, which is housing 2,000 to 3,000 thoughts every single day, it shuts down. goes into the back seat of your mind, your subconscious mind, which is controlling of all your bodily functions. In fact, it controls 10 systems within the body: the endocrine system, the nervous system, the cardiac system, all of that under control. The subconscious now takes over. It guides you on an intuitive level, and you have this uncanny feeling that not only nothing can go wrong, but you're now an automatic pilot. Now, to be in this state, it requires stress. And that's the one thing we talked about last week: negative stress, how it can back up and hide in your muscles. But you see, when you're in a peak performance zone state, and again, not just for superstars, yes, your heart rate is elevated, 140, 160. It's beating to pump the blood through the body. But an abnormal thing happens in the zone. Your breathing decreases as your heart rate increases. Now the blood flows evenly, efficiently, more productivity occurs. And you've got this calm feeling with intention, with purpose, that nothing can go wrong. Breathing lowers, eyes double, triple. All the body is on full alert, totally locked into the moment. Now, to get into the zone state, it takes at least 12 seconds. Why 12? We're not sure. I've been researching that for almost 6 decades. 12 seconds. And then you can stretch that present tense zone state out to 2 or 3 minutes. Then you can stretch that for a half hour. You can stretch that for an entire round of golf. How glorious is that when you shot the best round you've ever shot in your life? We all have these zone moments when everything is easy. How about reading a book? Totally locked in on the characters of this fiction novel that I'm reading. And it's exciting. It's thrilling. But I'm taking on all the feelings of the character. I am locked into the moment. There is no place that I would rather be than immersed within the characters and the context of this particular novel. And then the phone rings. I hop on. A bubble burst. I was in a zone state. I was taking on the feelings of the character. I hop on a phone call, and now I'm not in the zone. When you're aware of being in the zone, you're not in it anymore. So what do you do when you're aware of it? How do I attract it without being under negative stress? How can I get in the zone state? No trauma at all. Well, we have a simple formula. In this show, the Jim Fannin Show, I'm here to expose all of the tools that we've been helping the best in the world for decades. And I'm here today to help you live your life in the zone, be in your business in the zone, have super healing because of the zone that you're in, super learning, which all of our students are using to accelerate learning in their academics, the zone. Every person on this planet, from a baby to the oldest 100, 102-year-old person, can be in a zone state in their personal life. And it's the only place to be, the zone. So zoniacs, well, you're individuals that attract the zone using our S.C.O.R.E success system, which we'll always get into on the Jim Fannin Show. But I'm going to help you put the zone on like an overcoat. And now let's go to one of our tools to help you get back in the zone when things aren't going your way. And now the toolbox. This toolbox contains tools that take less than 90 seconds to deploy. And this tool has been used by the University of Illinois men's golf team to perennially, for the last dozen years, be in the top 10 in the NCAA for men's golf. What is their battle cry? Next. N-E-X-T exclamation. You're on the tee box. You're a golfer. you hit a ball nearly OB. You can blow your breath. You can replay it in your mind. You can bang the club on the ground. You can get totally upset and go back into the past. Or you can raise your chin and just say one word, next, next hula hoop size target as you're walking to get your errant tee shot. The best in the world. Keep advancing the present tense and stretching it like a rubber band. Next, use that one word to keep you in the moment and being in the zone for as long as possible. And now let's check out the mailbox. And we appreciate all the mail that's been coming in. This came in on Facebook. We appreciate it. We're going to put that up on the screen. And the question is, I'm in the zone. I lose it. How do I stay hungry? I've been doing this for years. How can I stay hungry and get into that zone state? Well, that's a great question. The zone is designed not just for short term, but you can live a life in, on, or around that zone. The best in the world aren't really trying to reach the zone state. No, the best in the world understand what greatness really is. And it's my experience with the great Frank Thomas, the great Alex Rodriguez, the great Luke Donald, and other clients. The great ones reach a high daily standard, a minimum requirement for a solid performance, according only to you, not someone else. Hit that high standard. Well, on the Pro Golf Tour, the standard for the golfers that I'm coaching, the Illinois golfers competing in NCAA, 12 birdie opportunities, 25 feet or less, that's a standard. We don't always convert all of them, of course, but we at least want those opportunities. What is your standard in your business? What's your standard of living a normal life, a daily life? What standards, what constants do you have to be the best that you can be? Welcome to the Zone Cafe. Now, this 24/7 diner is cooking up, not fast food, the best food on the planet, the mental nourishment that we need to attract a zone state where we can be our genuine, authentic best selves. The Zone Cafe has 5 ingredients. We're dishing them out. You can only select one. You can come back on your road of life and order tomorrow something else. And here are the 5 markers that were discovered 1974, 1975. All my clients since then have been using this thought management system to get total control of what they can control in their lives. You can come in and pick self-discipline. That's usually the stumbling block for most peak performers. The willingness, the commitment to stay with routines or tasks to reach very well-defined goals that take you to a place in the future, a vision where you've accomplished what you set out to do. Do you need discipline? That's going to help with a blueprint. That's going to help with strategy, tactics, time management, patience, perseverance. If you need self-discipline, don't go any further. Put it in the car. Leave with it. But maybe you need a hot plate of concentration. Yes, maybe you've had some pride on being a multitasker, but you're struggling to hold your focus, and it's easily broken because you have too many balls in the air. Do you need to focus on what matters and leave alone what doesn't matter? And stop sweating the small stuff? If you need to get that laser focus where you're mentally, physically focused on the task at hand, focused on the goals that you've set with their timeline, and always focused on where you're going with your vision. You need concentration. Put that in your car on the road of life. But maybe you are disciplined. Maybe you are focused, but you have a little seed of doubt. Maybe once you get to the finish line, you look around to figure out what other people are doing.
Maybe you get upset when expectations don't meet your reality, and it plummets your confidence, your belief, your optimism. So if you need optimism, you need more belief, but belief by itself is not going to cut it. You need expectancy, eventually a sense of knowing. And if that's what you need to be in a zone state for you to be your best, well, we've got a giant platter of optimism. And as soon as you put it in the car, you're going to feel 6'8". You're going to feel the best that you can be. But maybe you need what the palm tree gives you. Maybe you need what we just worked on, relaxation. So if you need to relax more, well, you already know what you need. You found it in the episode last week, and you also found it in the toolbox earlier today. Relax. And if you need that cool drink of relaxation, take it and leave. But maybe you need that happy meal enjoyment, little pep in your step. Even when facing adversity, you've got to have that enjoyment, passion for solving challenges, especially when they're looking you dead in the eye. So what do you need as you drive up in your car of life on the road? What do you need? Do you need self-discipline? Do you need concentration? Do you need optimism? Or maybe you need relaxation and enjoyment. You can come to the Zone Cafe anytime to ascertain the missing link in getting into a zone state to be your genuine, authentic best. I was in my early 20s, and I was fortunate to be playing professional tennis, and my idol, Pancho Gonzalez, was coming to Columbus, Ohio to play an exhibition against the best player in town. And that happened to be me. And I was fired up. My idol, former number one, just came back from Wimbledon, had the longest match ever recorded in Wimbledon, Pancho Gonzalez. He had this long mane like a lion with a lot of gray in it, real tan. And he walks into the club ready to play Jim Fannin, an exhibition. But it's all about him. I had the autographed Pancho racket. He was my idol, and I couldn't wait to kick his rear end. I was fired up. So much so, the first game when I served, I had my radio serve. You know what that is? You can only hear it. You can't see it. 15 love, 30 love, 40 love, love game, Pancho, 3 aces, no chance, 1-0, Jim Fannin. The next game, I break Pancho, break his serve, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. And now we're changing sides. It's an exhibition, about 1,000 people in the audience. Pancho Gonzalez grabbed the microphone from the umpire. It's an exhibition. And he turned to me and the crowd and said, "My name's Pancho Gonzalez. I'm one of the best players in the world. You're amazing. Where are you from?" And like a fool, I said, "Kentucky." And everybody started laughing. And then he looked at me again and said, "I am one of the best players in the world. I've never lost to a boy from Kentucky." "Did you call me boy from Kentucky?" Everybody was laughing. And just like that, I'm in the zone. I'm not in the zone. The next thing I know, I'm in the locker room. The match is over. And Pancho was in the mirror preening, putting on a shark skin suit. He came over and looked at me one more time. He patted me on my head and said, "Son, you just need more experience." And I never saw him again. The zone. You can be in it, and just like that, you can be out of it, like I did against Pancho Gonzalez. I've seen it last 33 days. A-Rod was in it 20-some days. Frank Thomas, 20. Luke Donald, almost a month. Locked in. Joey Cora, 33 straight days playing baseball. But the zone is not just for the superstar. It's for you in your daily life. Being in the zone, interacting with your family, being in the zone in a sales presentation, being in the zone in everything in your life, it's the only place to be. I'm Jim Fannin. I coach champions. And it's been my pleasure to be with you talking about my favorite subject, the zone. Don't forget to send an email if you like a show recommendation or you like to comment on the zone today. Ask Jim at jimfannin.com, AskJimFannin.com. Send me an email to Ask Jim, and I'll be sure and answer it in the next episode. Be in the zone. It is the only place to be. Next. Thanks for joining me today on the Jim Fannin Show. And as a returning or new Zoniac peak performer, it's here that goals are reached and dreams come true. So if you're ready to step into the zone of champions to become your genuine, authentic best self and all you do, join me here next time on the Jim Fannin Show, where I'll help unlock your full potential. And in the meantime, learn more about me and my S.C.O.R.E success system at www.jimfannin.com. Follow me on all my social media platforms. And if you have questions about the show or its subject matter, email me at askjim@jimfannin.com, askjim@jimfannin.com. Ask Jim at jimfannin.com.
The views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of KKNW, its